Yo, we are back with the crazy CFM for you guys. And if those of you that did not catch last season's videos, we ended up ultimately losing in the AFC Championship game. We are back in week number 2. I did get a force win in week 1. And in week 2, this is going to be a great game for you. As you guys can see, we are playing the New Orleans Saints. And this guy that I'm playing is, I don't necessarily know if he's comp. He sure plays comp. You guys will see what I'm talking about as we get into the game. And as you can see, right, we're going through his abilities. His team's very similar to mine. If you really look at it, he's got crazy good receivers. The biggest difference is he has a faster team than me. However, I have Josh Allen, who doesn't get the normal perks of a good quarterback, right? He doesn't get the passing velocity boost and set feet lead. He doesn't get threat detector, identifier. All that stuff is banned in this league, but he does still get hot route master, which is kind of a big key, especially for me running U trips. Right, I don't need to be moving my players around, and as you'll see, my opponent in this game actually does run U trips. So this is going to be a nice little U trips versus U trips battle, and this is going to be slightly different just because in reality, without those passing velocity boosts, we can't make some of the same throws that we're used to making. So as you guys can see, here's my abilities on Josh Allen. We got fast break protected, fearless, quick draw, hot route master, and blitz radar is the superstar X factor. Not the abilities you would normally put on your quarterback, but as I mentioned, most of the good abilities are actually banned in this league. You can see my team compared to his team. We do have CD Lamb. I made the trade for CD Lamb in the offseason. I traded Tre'Davious White. We have Gabe Davis, who's good, but he's not a superstar. And then we drafted a 95 speed rookie. So we also have Mark Andrews that we made the trade for last year. O-line is pretty much in shambles. We do have Von Miller. He didn't retire on us, which was good. So we do have the edge threat double or nothing combo. Once again, very similar to my opponent. Besides that, I have no other abilities on defense besides Roquan Smith, who unfortunately doesn't really get many good abilities. So in this game, I was going to rock the 4-3 even 6-1, so I put Lurker and Pick Artist on him. That way I would have a decent user when running that. And as you'll see throughout the course of this game, I don't even have the ability to go to that. I mean, he's frying me. I don't have the corners to match up in that 1v1 style of blitz scheme. So we're going to base everything we do out of the two-man undershell. And the main reason for that is because my opponent has a 98 speed receiver. He's got a running back that has short and elite. He's got a tight end that has short and elite. And he's got two receivers that hit the majority of the route running thresholds. So when you combine my poor cornerback play with his really good receiving core and the fact that he knows what he's doing, we're going to have to really play smart defensively and pick and choose what we're willing to give up. So with that being said, we start with the ball first. As I mentioned, I'm in U-Trips, right? If you guys have been following the channel, I've been really enjoying this offense. Now, this is my first game running this offense without the throwing velocity boosters, right? So without set feet lead or pass lead elite. So I'm going to play a bit safe early on, and I'm going to look to dump it down. Now, you see that my opponent is coming out. He's in dollar. He's cross-maining everybody. Very reminiscent of how Dez plays, right? He comes out in dollar, and the DB fire plays, so he's got the safeties in man coverage. And he's got the two outside guys generally in flats, and then just the different people are manned up, right? The two linebackers, sometimes a slot corner. So with me getting a feel for how this game is going to go, I'm going to run the ball a little bit. You also see he's got Nick Bosa. He made the trade for Nick Bosa last season, and he's got the edge threat, double or nothing combo. So you're going to see he's just going to destroy my guy more times than not. So right there, you saw I actually got a bit lucky that it wasn't picked. Those D-line picks are pretty common. So it's 3rd and 7, and at that point, I realized, all right, I can't just send my running back out on a route. I'm going to have to pick up the blitz, right? It's hard enough to, stop Nick Bosa from just killing my tackle, but I'm going to have to, pick up the DB fire, right? If he's gonna zone out his players and man up his slot corners and stuff. More power to him, and I'll just have to find a dot. But I can't just let him come in free. And at the same time, I've got to still mix in the run because I don't want my opponent sitting here pass committing because that's just going to help him destroy my tackles with these crazy abilities, right? So I come out in the play double slogo here. I've got my 95 speed player in the slot, number 19. And you notice he's not moving his safeties down or anything. He's just manning them up. So at this point, I know if I can pick up time, which I will because I'm going to set up my pass protection, I know I'm going to beat him over the top. So here you see I get a high ball. We freeform it to the outside, and we get it in for a touchdown. That's going to be a key because it's going to force him to start manually moving his players. And then right away, you see, once again, my opponent is now in U-trips. I do not have the most reps against U-trips. Same reason why I do so well in U-trips. I don't have very many reps against it. So what I know what I'm doing here is my opponent has a 98 speed player, so I pretty much have to have a safety over the top of him at all times. The other thing that I noticed he does is he likes to put his tight end on a streak route, right? So with him on a streak, he's trying to hit me down the seams. So I'm putting that backside safety into an inside third. You see, I'm making this adjustment pretty regularly. I am in dime 1-4, and the sole purpose of that is because I'm going to basically blow up the run. I don't want my opponent running the ball. He's got Jonathan Taylor, who's 96 speed and, has all the crazy, route running, and he's got everything, right? So it's going to be hard enough for me to stop the pass game out of this. I can't afford to let him, get busy in the run game as well, right? Same reason why I'm running the ball. I've got to stop him from running. Now here, I was setting up the 4-3 even 6-1. My linebackers are all out of whack. You see I've got Von Miller, in a purple zone. That's never ideal. I don't even know who my lurker was here. Here I actually set my team up, and I've got Smith, Roquan as my lurker. But you'll see when he sees this look, he's just going to simply max protect. And then, as I mentioned, I don't have the corners to really defend this. You see Michael Thomas just absolutely torches whoever number 23 is on my team. So right off the bat, I said, all right, enough of that. We're going to go ahead and try to blitz a little bit. We set up our blitz. He runs the ball. Jonathan Taylor tries to get freaky. And you notice that he lags right here, right? So this is actually going to come into play a little bit later on in the game. But I don't know what's going on with his connection. Obviously, it was him that was lagging, not me. So you can see, like, I'm playing very safe. Like, if he wants to chuck it down, more power to him, right? Like, I want him to work. I want to give myself the chance for Von Miller to essentially win me this game. I don't know what he does right there. He tries to playmaker a route to the sideline and then throw it. I don't know if that's something that he can get away with set feet lead or pass lead elite, but with how they just lollipop these balls, I was surprised to see him throw that, to be honest. And of course, it actually comes back to bite him. We get a pick, and we're feeling good, right? I'm able to pick up dollar. It's one of the main things that I've switched to, right? So if you followed me throughout the year, I've been in 5 wide. So I just have said, screw it, I'm not picking up the blitz, I'm just going to dot it. But now in U-trips, I want to utilize a lot of motion, but I have to be able to pick up the pressure. And especially when they send these slot corners. There you see me go back to halfback slogo. And we go ahead and pick up another big gain, right? So we're down to the 10-yard line. We are up 7-0. Here we're going to go ahead and audible over to the tight slots formation that I broke down. And we're actually going to audible back out of that to trips tight end. I was trying to get a feel for what he was in. I wanted to see if he would like adjust his players. And when I went to tight, I didn't see him like click on to different people or anything like that. So I just went back to the run. Was going to take the run, and then if for whatever reason I wasn't able to score right there, we were just going to keep playing it safe. Now here, once again, he's running the ball. You see 4 for 10. Not too worried about it, right? I'm playing a style of defense where I know I'm going to be able to contain the run. Here, once again, we're just going to stock 2-man under shell, and he is moving his players around. You see that he goes to scat. The play scat is a play that he's going to run a million times throughout the course of this game, and he's really just trying to abuse Michael Thomas on that corner route, right? So he's got that. He's got Jonathan Taylor coming out of the backfield. His other guys, he doesn't really throw to that much. So like Chris Olave and who else does he have? He's got Olave and he's got Garrett Wilson. So he doesn't really throw to those guys that much. His whole scheme for the most part was really Michael Thomas. And here, once again, you see he's just spamming that corner route. Amazing corner route. It's hard to defend. Like, I mean, it really is hard to defend. You see, I'm going to go ahead. I'm trying to stop that corner route. You'll see he's going to actually put Michael Thomas in motion here. And at this point, my whole defense is jacked up. And he's going to run, could throw a corner out to that side, goes for the ag catch, and gets absolutely screwed. That is something that has been in the game since this last patch. No idea what EA did. But when you go to ag catch those routes, sometimes they just bounce off your hands. He goes with tight end whip right here. Once again, I'm shaded underneath. I'm doing the best I can to stop these underneath routes. But yeah, I just don't, I don't have the corners to really do it. Here, once again, absolutely frying number 33. Michael Thomas in this game looked like the Michael Thomas that was playing with Drew Brees. Like, he was just open the entire game. Like, from a defensive standpoint, I mean, you can see my adjustments here. I am playing, the way I'm playing defense is I'm in 2-man under. I'm keeping a safety over the top of his 98 speed guy, and then I'm just trying everything else to blow up the run and to take away the corner. And you see, like, he's moving Michael Thomas around. Right now he's on the outside, and I don't know why exactly he puts him on the outside, but as I say that, he throws an absolute laser to him over the middle of the field. I thought my mid read was going to play that. Yeah, he didn't. He just threw an absolute beam. And here, once again, lags, and you can tell it actually affects him here because he sends this kick to Narnia. Like, he looked like he was at Florida State and just shanked the hell out of that kick. So 14-6 at this point. I'm still feeling good on offense, right? I mean, it's essentially halftime. We're in a close game. Like, the score of this game is really, really close at this point. And you see, we're going to go ahead and step up. We're picking up his blitz. And I don't know if he knows how to go about, like, when people pick up his blitz, he doesn't have a counter for it. And that was something that I was able to abuse in this game. Like, I just picked up his blitz, I stepped up in the pocket, and I made my reads. And really, you have to do that when you're running this offense. Like, that's the hardest thing about being in U-trips because the routes are there. Like, you will have open players. The hardest part is you got to be able to pick up these blitzes. And, yeah, I mean, if you don't pick them up, you're just going to get screamed at. You'll never be able to, consistently move the ball. But when you do, as you guys will see, like, we have all the routes that we possibly need. There, his double or nothing triggers, pushes my center over. Nothing I can do about that, right? I'm setting up the pass protection to pick up the corners coming in free. I don't want those guys coming in free. So at that point, right, I mean, I can only do so much to stop Nick Bosa and the edge threat combo, and I can only do so much to stop the double or nothing by the defensive tackle. Just kind of is what it is. I have no O-line abilities. There you saw me take I audibled too many times. At this point, I'm trying to figure out how to go about scoring. You see, I'm trying to quick hike because he's cross-manning everybody. And then here, he actually is creeping on his defensive tackle. This isn't much. It's like, if he picks me with his defensive tackle, more power to him. So I obviously just threw the angle route to James Cook. And once again, now I'm back to, it's 3rd and 11. I can't consistently move the ball if I'm letting his corners come in free. So I block the running back, set up the pass protection, and I'm just looking to dot, right? I've got my motion drag route. I've got the corner route. I've got the motion post. I've got the drag underneath, really just dictating where his user goes. Depending on where his user goes, I'm going to have somebody else open, right? That's the main reason I'm in this offense is because I want to have all these crazy routes that I can really abuse. Here, once again, we pick up the pass, and I actually missed a touchdown. The wheel route right there was a touchdown. I don't know if he cross-manned the wrong player or what the case may be, but we end up stepping up, scrambling, picking up some easy yards. And then here, I've got 10 seconds. I gave up a really good player for CD Lamb. He's got red zone threat. I'm chucking it up. hoping for the best. We actually catch it. And yeah, I mean, 21-6 at halftime. And now at this point, you can kind of tell the wheels kind of fell off the track for him. He starts playing just kind of goofy. He's still running a lot of the same plays, but his reads aren't there at this point. Here you see he's trying to beat the two man under. He's using the trick of putting the guy in a comeback route to cook the man coverage. And once again, that's Michael Thomas. So he's got all the route running. He's got short in elite. He's got short out elite. He's going to cook that guy pretty much every time. We go to zone here, trying to mix it up a little bit. And Von Miller comes up clutch. And Russo, however you say his name, actually catches the pick, which my opponents didn't on the first drive of the game. So we're starting to get a little bit lucky here. I mean, I don't necessarily know if it's lucky. I mean, it's something that happens pretty consistently in this game, right, with defensive line picks. So he didn't catch his. I caught mine. And at this point, I'm in full control of this game. It's 21-6. I've got the ball. I'm already in field goal range. He has shown pretty much no signs of being able to stop me. And you see now he's pinching the line, right? So in dollar, once you get them pinching the line, you're pretty good in terms of picking up the protection. Because the blitz itself just is not nearly as good with the pinch D line compared to a spread. So I can tell that me running the ball is annoying him enough to where he's not quite sure what he wants to do, right? He's just coming out and cross-manning his safeties, his linebackers, his corners. He's doing a good job of mixing up who he's covering. But I'm mixing in the run just enough to where I'm kind of annoying him. And that's the main thing I'm trying to do. That read I just made right there was something I'm used to throwing on line when I have set fee lead. And that was risky. I'm probably not going to throw that pass too much without the ability moving forward. But here you see we go back to the draw. We've been killing with it. But this time, defensive tackle just shedded my life away. Once again, I don't have a good center. Matter of fact, I don't have a good offensive line, period. So I'm not surprised that I got shedded. But 3rd and 7, I'm going to go to one of the main red zone beaters out of this formation. You've got the crosser, you've got the post, you've got the hitch to pull the zone. Works exactly how we want it to, and we miss a throw, right? So perfect accuracy, can kick rocks. It was not perfect accuracy, and we end up missing it. We end up settling for a field goal, 24-6. Here you see I'm in two-man under. He goes to the fade, or he goes to the comeback to be able to fry the man coverage. And now you can kind of see the little chess match that we're playing. Here, he takes off with Tom Brady. I'll let him take off every single play that he wants to with Tom Brady. He's not going to, kill me doing that. But just like I'm picking up consistent yards and keeping the chains moving with Josh Allen, he did a good job right there, right? So here he goes. He chucks it up to Michael Thomas. Very similar to what I did with CeeDee Lamb, right? I caught mine. He didn't catch his. Now here, we've been giving up this damn corner route the entire game. But I actually make a perfect adjustment right here, and you could tell he was not ready for that. But at the same time, that was not a player with abilities, so my man-up of my safety on him really was able to stick to him close enough to where I could click on and make a nice little user pick. So here we go, 31-6. At this point, the game's over in my mind, right? So as long as I make him work, it's the fourth quarter. He's shown no signs of stopping me. Yeah, I'm gonna play this to try to get some stats at this point. You see, like I'm trying to bait him into throwing the corner route, and I don't know what happened with that throw. I don't know if it triggered an under pressure or what the case may have been, but it was blanketed anyway. But he overthrew it and it went straight to my user, who I actually clicked off of, and he gets pick 6. Nice. Here we go. Once again, we're making the same adjustment. We are cross-manning the outside guy, just in case he's trying to throw a fade. We've got the outside corner into a flat to try to take away that corner out. And he makes the adjustment, right? So we took away the previous play, and it forced a pick. That time, he motions the guy in, and it screws up my zones, and he's able to throw the corner out again. Here, once again, I'm not stressing over that. That's the motion slant, but that player does not have abilities. So basically, the way that I'm playing this game is I'm worrying about obviously the fast guy, right? But I've got to stop Michael Thomas, right? That's just the nature of how Madden 23 is. If the player has abilities, you gotta guard him. Like especially if your defender doesn't have abilities. Here he goes to five wide. This caught me completely off guard, so I audibled to a blitz. We send the corner, comes in free, and he tried to highball to a 96 speed player, and luckily for us, he was not able to get it. 4th and 11. At this point, I'm playing to stop that corner route. You see that he is now motioned over his short end running back over there, but I know that I can shade underneath and press him, and he's not going to do too good of a job of beating the press. So you see, he doesn't even get off the press by the time Von Miller comes in and gets the sack for us. So we get the ball again. It's 30-6. The game's well over at this point, but I'm still playing for stats, right? So I am trying to get my opponent to get out a dollar. Like he just is refusing to get out a dollar, and I'm just gonna keep dinking and dunking and running the ball and making my reads as I've done pretty much all game long. And as you can see, I'm not letting the pressure get in. Right, the only time the pressure got in was early in the game, and now when I do decide to pick up the blitz, his only hope at pressure is the edge threat double or nothing guys, right? So his three defensive linemen, and yeah, we're cruising at this point. You see, we're running the ball pretty well. I'm trying to get James Cook some yards here. He's got 55 yards. I'm in U trips, right? The run game's not amazing, but I need to do a good enough job of keeping him honest. But I need to play a little bit for stats too. I need him to hopefully develop at some point. There you see we motioned over the flat wheel combo, forced his user to that side. We hit the trail route coming back underneath it. Like this game, I feel like I played pretty much flawlessly. Whereas in the past, I showed a gameplay earlier where I wasn't really on point with my reads. And this game, I'll be honest, I don't know if I missed many of them. Like this was an ideal, perfect game for me. Here you see he's just trying to chuck it up now to a 98 speed player. Yeah, we've got the guy manned up. We've got a deep zone out there. We're doing everything we can to pick it off, and the guy he chucked it at's 94 speed. So definitely not the fastest. Here we're gonna say screw it, chuck it up to our red zone threat again. Moss him. 52-6, kind of being a bit disrespectful at this point. Not really intentionally, but we are playing for stats. I did get a force win in my first game, so I'm behind the eight ball in terms of passing yards. I'm trying to get an MVP for Josh Allen. I came in second in the MVP voting last year, and it's because I had like 6 games where I didn't actually get to play. I didn't get stats. So here you see we're going to go ahead. We're trying to pass the ball again. We're just trying to go deep. Thought we might catch him once again with the halfback slow go play. He's in cover 4, so we say screw it. We're going to run the ball and get up out of this game. And that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think. We will be dropping a full guide on this U-Trip scheme on the website. Probably not going to come out till next week, but hopefully you guys enjoy. If you want to see more stuff like it, definitely let me know in the comments. And with that being said, catch you guys in the next video.